We talked about creating a global cloud service in 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and walk through those steps. We will be using DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is very much the same as AWS, Azure, and some of the other cloud vendors. And as you can see here, we will connect through the browser to one of their servers and make a request for a cloud service. As you can see there, we will also choose one of the data centers that are distributed throughout the world. Now, what kind of cloud service should we create? I thought I'd choose here a very complex scenario just to illustrate the ease with which we can create one of these global services. I've chosen the continuous integration and deployment. In this case, we are talking about the life cycle of software projects and all of the pipelines and integration that needs to exist with that. So the plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, measure, and coming back again. Now, there are a number of these platforms, and they're not a simple thing. They're big, they're complex, and they're very rich in functionality. As you can see, the one that we're going to use here is the one from GitLab. This is an open source offering, and you can see that it goes all the way from code to staging and production. Once we log in, we'll see that there are a number of choices beyond the one that we're going to select. And as I mentioned, we will select GitLab. So let's go ahead and move to the platform. Here is the interface that you get for this particular cloud vendor. We're going to go ahead and log in. I'm not going to be challenged for credentials because they are already cached within my browser. So as you can see here, this is the interface that we see. We're going to go ahead and click on create. In this case, we're going to create a droplet. These are cloud servers, and since it's DigitalOcean, this is one more drop in the ocean of servers. So let's go ahead and select that. We're going to go ahead and choose from the prepackaged open source packages. In this case, we're going to select GitLab. As I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I will simply leave the default when it comes to the size of the machine that I will provision, because this is only going to live a few minutes, so it doesn't really matter what the pricing is. It will be at most a few cents. So this is the part that I mentioned when it comes to choosing a data center. I'm going to choose the one that is closest to me. And I will not need any more services. However, I will add my credentials, and these are my keys that I have stored at the cloud vendor so that I can access from the command line. Now, we will also see applications that do not require you to log in to configure, but in this case, we will do the full rich setup. So you can see here the name that we need to give it, and I'm simply going to call it GitLab Demo. And at this point, I am done. I'm going to go ahead and create. And as you can see there, this machine is now being created. Now that the machine has finished being created, let's go ahead and copy the IP. This is the Internet Protocol number that has been assigned to this resource, and it is now accessible globally. I will log into it from the command line on my machine. You can see here I'm specifying the key that I noted before. I'm going to go ahead and hit return. My machine is asking me to confirm that I am connecting to this external machine. And the first prompt that I get is, do I want to configure this machine? I'll say yes. This is the IP at which I will be able to access the servers, and I will simply enter next a password. Let me enter cool code as a demo. It doesn't matter. Don't try to hack into my machine because this will only live a few minutes. So it doesn't matter that the password is public. So let's go ahead and wait for the machine to be configured. Now that we're done, we can go ahead and take the URL. Here it is. And enter it into the browser. Here we will enter the credentials, root, and the password was cool code. And once we log in, you will see that you have a full DevOps platform. You can do continuous integration, continuous deployment. You can start creating projects right away. You can add people, and you could really bring a global team together on top of this new service. So you can see there that just within the span of a few minutes, we achieved a tremendous amount of functionality. And that by using these resources in the cloud, you can really accelerate your delivery and your creation of certainly of creating software in this case, but on creating products and delivering services in general. So let's go ahead and go back to DigitalOcean simply to close the loop and to show you that just as easily as we created that service, we can get rid of it as well. So in this case, I'm going to destroy the service. As you can see here, destroy Droplet. I will confirm, and within a few seconds I will get a notice, as you can see there, that that Droplet has in fact been destroyed, and the UI will update in a few minutes as well. So I hope you can see the power and the speed of the platform and the tremendous use that we can make of these resources.